As I'm getting older and struggling with sleep issues often, it really feels like jet lag just hits harder and harder, especially after long flights and changing multiple time zones. And as a travel content creator, I really need to be able to hit the ground running and not for the nearest bed. So I'm super excited to be trying out a few new protocols on my upcoming trip to Portugal to see if we can beat jet lag once and for all. Let's go. Hey y'all, and welcome. If you're new here, I'm Christi, the GenX Gypsy, and I like to share travel tips and advice I've learned over my 40 years of roaming around the world. And in a little over 24 hours, I am boarding a red-eye flight from Raleigh-Durham to Lisbon, Portugal. That's an 8+ hour overnight flight with a 5-hour time difference. And if you've ever done a red-eye, you know it can absolutely wreck you for days. But I'm incredibly excited to be teaming up with Flykitt today, who is the sponsor of today's video. And I'm going to show you exactly how I'm preparing to beat jet lag using their system, plus a few other travel essentials that I hope are going to save my sanity on this overnight flight. So what exactly is Flykitt? It's a comprehensive system designed to eliminate jet lag, and what I think is actually more important, to accelerate your recovery. Based on research with Navy SEALs and fighter pilots, they discovered that rapid pressure changes and low oxygen on planes cause inflammation. And that's actually the missing piece of why we feel so terrible after flying and why jet lag hits us so hard. And if you've done any research on what happens to our bodies during perimenopause and menopause, you already know we're already fighting an increase in inflammation anyway. With Flykitt, you get these patented supplements, these blue light filtering glasses, and access to their AI-powered app that creates a custom plan for when to eat, sleep, and use everything that comes in your Flykitt pack. More than 93% of travelers can fly anywhere in the world and feel great from day one. And it's trusted by professional athletes, military special ops, and CEOs. In fact, a recent study with one of the MLS professional soccer teams, and I wonder if it was my favorite team, the Portland Timbers. Anyway, they found that the players who used Flykitt saw a 94.7 reduction in their systems. Super important when you're flying all over the place, changing time zones to play intense soccer matches. Let me show you how this works. I've already input my flight details into the Flykitt app. We're departing Raleigh-Durham about 8 p.m. and then arriving in Porto about noon local time on Friday. The app has created this personalized timeline that tells me exactly when to take the supplements, when to wear the fun little glasses, when to eat, and even when to have their circadian reset drink mix. It's telling me to start my protocol tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., which is why I'm filming this now. The science targets two root causes of jet lag: inflammation and circadian disruption. Using this tailored program with the supplements, the blue light filtering glasses helps reduce inflammation and reset your internal clock. I also have two other new travel essentials I'll be trying out on this flight based on multiple recommendations: the Sarasun travel pillow and these Offnix noise canceling earbuds. I'll be using these to help create my own little cocoon on the flight, and I'm hoping that at the end of this video, I'm going to have some very positive reviews to share with you. It is about 9.5 hours before we take off on our first flight, and it is time for me to take my first supplement out of the Flykitt kit. And I need to take one of these sustain supplements. So I figure out how to get, I think I must have to like pull that apart. There we go. So you pull it apart. I've got this big long thing here with all the supplements and coffee and some circadian reset mix, which I think is for tomorrow. But let's take our first one of these. Are they numbered? Yep, number 1. I did go for a long walk to get the legs shaken out before I have to sit for a really long time for over the next 24 hours. Okay, all done. Okay, we're getting ready to board our first flight of the evening, and I have 3 supplements that I need to take as soon as I get on board, but it's going to be too noisy, so I don't want to film this while I was on board. But we're on our way, 1 flight, and then a little layover, and then that very long flight to Portugal. So excited. Let's take a quick break from the Flykitt protocol to talk about the other 2 items that I tried out on the red-eye flight. Now, I would have tried to have filmed some of this while I was flying, but they turn off the lights for the red-eye flights. It's really noisy, and to be honest, it is incredibly awkward to try to film something on a plane when you are sitting next to strangers. So I'm going to take this opportunity while I'm sitting in a hotel room to talk about the 2 items. One of which was pretty successful, and the other one, not so much. It was a meh, not necessarily complete failure, but not really what I was looking for. So the first item, we'll talk about the success first, and that is this Saracen neck brace pillow thing. I'm not sure which category it goes into. It does have a detachable eye mask, which has the puffed areas, the built up areas, so that it concave, that's the word I'm looking for, the concave areas, so that your eye fits right in here and you don't feel like you have your eyelashes hitting against the eye mask constantly. That does detach. Then you have the neck brace part of it that has these adjustable loops here. And these are to go around the adjustable headrests that are on the backs of the seats on the airplane. And you put these around the adjustable headrest and you tighten them up so that they're nice and secure. And then you will wrap this around your neck, and then you put your eye mask on and it Velcros on, and this fits securely around. Let me really show you how it works. So you're gonna put this around your neck, and then you're going to put the eye mask on. Imagine that this is secured to a seat headrest. God, why am I having a hard time saying that? And then you're going to put this around here. And then you are securely tightened into your seat. Yeah, it feels like it might be a little claustrophobic, but I'm telling you, it worked really, really well. I have used the turtleneck rest for several years, and I like it okay, but this worked so much better, especially considering I did not have a window seat this time, so I didn't have something that I could lean my head against while using the turtle. I will say that there were times during the night that I would kind of wake up and I would be a little achy and I wanted to change position, that I would undo the face mask or the eye mask, and then I would lean my head down on the tray table for a little while, and then I would readjust myself back and reattach it, and everything kind of went back and forth. I mean, honestly, I don't think you're going to get a good night's sleep, or just even a night's sleep, on a red-eye flight unless you are able to lie flat in business class or first class. So overall, I mean, if the options are what the options are, I think this is a pretty good one. It worked really well for me, and I'm happy that I'll have it to use on the flight back as well. Let's talk about the second item that just did not work like I wanted it to work, and that is, or they are, the Ophnix noise canceling headphones. To begin with, the first con is I did not find that they were very noise canceling-esque. I still could hear a lot of people around me when I was wearing these. The other is I don't find that they're super intuitive to use. And in fact, when I've hooked them up to my laptop to use them for working on editing videos. Oh my gosh, the flies in here are really bad. We are up in horse country in Portugal right now, and the flies in this area, whew, buddy, they are a thing. So if you see flies flying around, that is why. They connected to my laptop separately, so it was really weird in that I didn't really get a stereo effect like how you would really be listening to your laptop usually. So I found that odd, and maybe that is just a user error and I haven't figured out how to use them correctly, but that's another con. The pro that I will say is I do like that the way that this style of earbud fits into my ear and around my ear. It was very, very comfortable, and I did wear them for hours and hours at a time with no issues. Very comfortable. They have multiple different little rubber things, so you can choose based on the size of your ear what is going to be the most comfortable. But I've worn these on the bus during the tour and doing a couple of things, and like I said, they just don't have the noise canceling ability that I wanted to have in them, and I don't think they hook up to the to your phone or your laptop or whatever you're trying to Bluetooth to very intuitively, I guess is the best way to say. So if you have any suggestions, I am still in the market looking for a good pair of noise canceling earbud headphones. I don't want over-the-ear headphones. In fact, I would prefer something that looks like this to go over my ear. So any suggestions that you guys have, please drop them in the comments below so that I can try those out, and we can also let everybody else in the community know if they are a really good product or not. So it was a 1 out of 1 or 1 out of 2 success story on the new items. But let's get back to whether or not Flykitt was successful in saving me from jet lag. I am thrilled to report that Flykitt really worked. It is about 10 a.m. on our first morning here in Porto, and I am feeling great. In fact, I might say that this is the best I have ever felt after a red-eye flight. If you are planning any travel in the near future, a long-haul flight or even a red-eye, and you want to try Flykitt out for yourself, just head on over to flykitt.com and you can get 10% off with my special code GenXGypsy10, and that will give you 10% off on your first kit to try out on your next trip. And I'll have that link below in the description and the first pinned comment to make it really easy. Well, I am now off to go enjoy my first day in Porto instead of dragging butt for the next 3 days thanks to Flykitt. Let me know if you have ever tried Flykitt before, or if you have some other red-eye survival tips that you want to share with the community. And if you're looking for some other ways to help make your travels more comfortable, check out this video next. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have safe and wonderful travels.